what the lead change means, okay? Let's start with a simple thing as what's a lead is, okay? So if you know what a lead is, you know what the lead change. A horse can go either on his left lead or the right lead. In a straight line, you can go either on the left lead or the right lead, would make any difference. But in the minute you start bending, you're making a left circle, horse more balance on the left lead, then take the right lead, because then it's going to be off balance. So we know that the lope is a 3-beat gait, which means that on every stride the horse take at the lope, he need to take 3 steps. The first one, let's say that he's going to start with the right hind leg to pick up a left lead. So the right hind push the horse up in the air. He lifts the 3 legs. The left hind and the right front are going to land first, and that's be the second beat. And then all the weight of the horse going to be on his leading leg, which be the left front. And that's why we call that left lead. Okay, so he push with the right hind, the diagonal pair are striking the ground, and then the horse put all his weight on the left front leg. What happened after that is that he push himself, okay, on that leading leg, and he come up in the air, and all 4 feet are leaving the ground before that right hind leg come back into effect and creating the same stride. We call that the period of suspension, that the horse is up in the air. Now, if you want to think about it for a moment as I want to go from a left lead to a right lead, the moment of suspension, that's the time to change the hind leg, who is going to push the horse into the second lead. If we don't tell him anything, he keep going on the left lead. If I say, okay, next time you come into suspension, I want you, don't land on the right hind, I want you to land on the left hind. And push yourself with the left rather than with the hind. And that's where the shoulder in and the hunches in coming into effect, because we know how to balance ourselves. The horse can put weight on each one of those corners. So we wait for the horse to be up in the air, and we shift our weight, okay, to the opposite side. So if I go to the left and my weight will be on the right side because he goes to the left, I'm going to shift my weight to the left side and let him go to the right. And that's how we change lead. Easy to say it than to do it, because that's a lot of things taking effect in that particular moment of suspension, because you got to be really precise about when you cue him to do that. Because if you don't do that when he's up on the air, he say, what? What did you say? And the thing is not going to happen. To know the stride that didn't happen yet, in other words, to ride the stride that didn't happen yet. Take, for example, you know that the left front just leave the ground. Automatically, I know that the right hind or the opposite hind is going to be next. So that's the stride that I need to ride. It's too late to ride that left front, but the right hind is coming, and that's the one that I need to ride. So if I want to pick up that left lead into the lope, okay, when I cue my horse, I cue it on the left front leave the ground, because the right hind is going to push him into the lope. If I wait until the right hind is going to come there and I'm going to cue him, I lost 3 steps. I'm going to be too late. So cue him before it's happened. But don't cue him 3 strides before or 3 steps before it happened. 1, because the next one is the one that's critical as far as timing concerned. So it's really not enough to know how to do that. You got to know when to do it. When is even more important than how. Now, a horse needs to be taught to understand those cues, because those cues are very sophisticated for them to really catch it right away. He needs to understand to pick up a lope to start with. He needs to understand that you're positioning him to pick up a left lead, and then you position him to pick up a right lead. Once he understands that, then it's take quite a while before they really comfortable with it. You know, we get on a young horse, the first thing you want to do is just teach him to lope. Who cares what lead it is? Just understand the body language that I don't want you to trot, I don't want you to walk, I want you to lop. So it'll take a long time to have them comfortable to understand what we really want from them. Another thing is that it's not just the teach them to lop, it's to teach them to be balanced. And balance, it's something that take a long time. Most of the people cannot do that so simple because they have a hard time with the not interfering with the horse movement. And they try too hard. They want it so bad that they make their body, okay, demanding it rather than asking it. And that's another problem that we're facing with people who are not ready to change leads because they are not ready to pick up a lop from a dead still, or from a walk, or from a trot. So it's something that we all want to do, but we need to be able to discipline ourselves and to know when to start asking the horse to do that. Some people don't have the talent to train a horse to do that kind of stuff. So maybe some of them have a trainer that teach a horse how to do that, and that's probably be the easiest way to approach it, because once the horse understands the concept, okay, you can teach the rider how to apply that, and he can just go and do that. If that amateur rider, okay, that decided he wants to do it himself, it's probably going to take him a lot longer to achieve that goal, because he doesn't maybe have the knowledge, he doesn't have the balance, he doesn't have the right horse, there is so many things that can take him off track, and then he really having more trouble to do that than if somebody else can help him to do that. Once you know the concept, okay, it takes forever sometimes, or take a day. It really depends on how you as an individual can relate to it and teach your horse to do that. But more you ask and more you try, eventually one day you're going to get to it.